Hello everybody, it's time to practice again. This week we are learning a new letter, I, and we're going to practice the last week's letter, which was E. Now we can warm up down here in this space if you wish to. I'm not going to, I don't think today, because I'm already warmed up. I've been doing some other things, but I needed to get this filmed so I can have it up early Saturday, because the last 2 weeks I've been late. So I'm just going to go over what pens I'm going to use. First of all, I have the Tombow Fudenasuki, which is a pretty hard tip. And then the next one I have is the Calligraph by Archer and Olive, which is a softer tip, but still not super soft. On one side, it does have the big tip on the other side, which I'm not going to be using today. And then the next one is the Sign Brush Pen by Write-Tek, which is, I didn't show you, it is still a small tip, but a little bit softer than the Calligraph. And then our softest pen is the Pentel brush pen, but it's still a small tip. So they're all very similar in size, they just get a little bit softer as we go. So I tried to match these colors the best I could. These are Live La Poche flowers. Beautiful, beautiful as always. So let's go ahead and get started with the E. And hopefully you all found a way that you like to make your E. And let's see, I think I want to bring this in just a little bit. Maybe not a little bit. I hope there's not too many shadows. Let me bring my lights down. I'm filming after dark with lights. I don't know if that made it worse or better. Maybe I'll bring them back up. Maybe I'll spread them out just a little bit, hopefully. Shoot. I don't have a lot of natural light in here, so hopefully you can see okay. So I like my little intro, heavy down, and then light up. My intro, heavy down, light up. Now you don't have to do an intro if you don't want to. I just like it better. I think I just whistled, sorry. I just like it a little better. I think this one looks too much like a C in my opinion. So let's just keep going here. I'm just about over my cold, I think, but I still have a little bit of a tickle, a little bit of an itchy eye, and a little bit of a runny nose, but not like a couple days ago. So getting better. So there's the E. Let's see. Need this side. Let's go ahead and get going here. Please feel free to put any comments in, or I'm sorry, any questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer the question. If I don't know the answer, I will reach out to someone. I have a couple people that I'm sure would be happy to answer questions that I can't. That was a little thick on that upstroke, those last few. And they got bigger as I went. I don't know why that happened. All right, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I'm going to fast forward the next two lines and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the I. Okay, I am back. So now we have a new letter to learn, the letter I. This is the free download worksheets from the Tombow Fudenosuke. I can't always say it. Sometimes it comes out right and sometimes it doesn't. So let's find the I. H, oh, those are capitals. H-I. Here we go. So it's just straight down, heavy down, and then a little tail light up for a connector and a dot. I don't think that there's, you know, much difference. The Tombow does theirs pretty much straight up and down, which I do mine mostly straight up and down. This is Crayola Calligraphy Made Easy from the dollar store. Basically exactly the same. Heavy down, light up, and then you go back and dot it. So let's just go ahead and get started. It's a pretty simple letter, but it's also in a lot of words. It really, really is. So just heavy down and then light up and a dot. Heavy down, light up, dot. Now if this is the end of your word, you could, you know, really flare out the tail if you are interested. If you're just going to connect it, you probably don't need too big of a tail. You know, it's just going to depend on your style as we go along. And once we start really making words, that's when your style comes into you. Just writing the letter alone, it's really kind of hard to, you know, develop that style, but you will. I'm still working on mine. It's been a year for me, and I have a lot of letters that I prefer to write in a certain way, and a few that I'm still working on. So there's that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this, and then we'll do a word. All right, we are done. I think this row looks really good. They all look very similar. Right here, I've got a couple of jaggedy ones. Same here. So this one is my favorite row, and it's also my favorite pen. The Sign Brush pen by Write-Tech is one of my favorites. If I'm just writing, a lot of times I'll pick that pen. All right, our first word is ice. Not probably something you'd write in your planner. You might though. Who knows? But so we're just going to start with that I, heavy down, and the light up, and we'll wait to dot it till we're done. And then the C, and you want to catch it with that heavy down, light up, and then E, catch it, light up, and then dot your I. So if you wanted to slant it, you might turn your paper a little bit more. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really a slanter, but I will try. Yeah, I guess that's slanted. So for me, I need to turn my paper quite a little bit. Where normally I keep it, I guess that'd be about 45 degrees, and I need to turn it almost, is that 90? I'm not sure. But almost horizontally, but not quite. So, you know, work with that. Look at them. Which ones you like best? I kind of like that one, but that's not really how I write. But I'm going to keep the page turned a little bit, and let's see how it comes out. And to me, I can't really see if it's slanted till I turn it back this way. But yeah, I like that. So let's keep it going. heavy down, light up, heavy down, light up. Perfect. Be sure and show me your stuff. Use hashtag practice with Tadazzle so I can see, you know, who's working with me and how you're doing. And if you're struggling, feel free to reach out. I know I still struggle a lot. And I practice, I used to practice every day, but now it seems like my time is a little bit more limited right at the moment with just life. And so I'm lucky if I get 4 days in. And I don't know if you're new, I keep paper and a couple different pens by my bed. And whoops, I always do that. I always want to take off the other end. And just, even if I just write a few words before I go to bed, that's my practice time. I have a little desk that sets up on my bed, so I have, you know, all the proper positioning and all of that. But you just gotta, you know, find what works best for you. I don't know if you just saw I needed to move my paper just a little bit more because my letters weren't doing what they needed to do. Whoops, started to write the wrong letter. So that one didn't catch, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna fast forward. I'll be right back. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. I need to get this paper up just a little bit. Next word is, I think that word is koi, C-O-I. So now our I is on the end. So we can decide whether we want to leave just a little tail or if we want a bigger tail. Little flamboyance. I mean, it's kind of a word that you don't need it, but you know, it's totally up to you. If you want to practice your style, you know, that's perfectly fine. So let's start with that C and then the O. And I like, you can see I like to go up above the line a little bit. And yeah. So I think that looks pretty good. Whoops, I don't know if you noticed, but my fingers had dropped down and it made it almost impossible to write that C. In fact, it's not a good C. So you really need to remember to keep your grip up high. On this pen, I like to go above this line, but sometimes I'll just, I don't know, kind of feel how it feels in my hand, the weight. Like this one has the lid and I cannot write, well, I can write without the lid on it, but it takes me more practice, or more, not practice, but more feeling it to feel where I need to write. And like the Calligraph, it has the two sides, so you don't have that extra lid. So this, and it's a heavier pen, so it's totally different. So you just need to, you know, mess with that. And if you're only using one pen, that's perfectly fine too. You can use one pen in different colors or just black or whatever you want to do. I like to practice with the different softness, hardness, because eventually I'd like to be able to write comfortably with the big end, or with my Tombos, which I have a ton of Tombow dual tips that I don't write a lot. I do practice with them, but I don't often show people that because it's still a work in progress, a big work in progress. So this one, like I said, you just feel what feels good. And just remember to choke up a little bit and get used to that. So I have to put this up here so I can stay in frame. So I still want to make sure that I'm comfortable, I have support, and all the things. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple more. Whoops, my paper moved. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward and finish this up. I'll be right back. That looks pretty good. How are y'all doing? I hope you're doing good. Moving on to the next page. And our next page is, the first word is, I think it's C-C-I-E. I'm not totally sure about these pronunciations, since these aren't words that I did myself. I am using, I believe I said this before, well, I know I've said this before, but if you're new, at JLB Crafts, Judy has designed the words for the whole year. They're last year's words, but they'll still work. So feel free to go over there, and I'll link her Instagram in the description, and her YouTube, if I can remember. I'll do her Instagram for sure. And grab those words if you want to practice. And obviously, you know, you can go over them with me, but when I'm practicing at night, just to give you a little idea of what you can do if you choose. Sometimes when I'm practicing, I don't have a list of words. Sometimes I'll look up something on my phone, if I'm watching TV or a movie and they say somebody's name, I might use that. I very often use my grandkids' names and write those over and over. So, you know, it doesn't matter what, you know, what you're practicing. It's just that you're practicing. Especially as we get into some harder letters maybe, or if you're struggling with any of these letters. A lot of people struggle with the rounder, that can be round or oval, you know, so, you know, practice your O's, practice what you need to practice what you want to practice, because if you don't make it fun, you won't do it. And if you don't practice some way, you won't get any better, and you won't see any improvement. And who wants to do something that you can't see some growth at, right? So I hope that you're all practicing with me, because once a week is better than nothing as far as that goes. So I grabbed the wrong pen. Not that it matters that much, but now my colors are going to be off. That's okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through the rest of this, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are done with that word. Now our next word is E-I-C-O. Is it eco, iso? I don't know how you say it. I know some of these words, I have no idea what they are. But that's okay. We're still making them a word, and that's what counts. Doesn't matter if we're just putting letters together. We're not. All these words are real, and they all have a meaning. A meaning. Boy, I'm having trouble with words today. But I don't recall them, and I'm not taking the time to look them up. But if you really want to know, you go ahead. But I do know from last year's practice that they're all real words and can be found. A meaning and where they came from. Some of them might have a little bit of a Asian culture, as Judy worked in Japan, her and her husband both, for several years, and she really loved the culture, loves, I should say, the culture there, and she brought back a lot of knowledge on words, and so there's that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to this next part. O-I-C-E, if you're just writing the words as we're going along. So we're going to start with an O is going to be our first letter. And then I, C, E. Do that one more time. O, I, C, E. All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this last word, and I'll be right back. All right. Got that together pretty good. I'm going to back out in just a minute, but I am going to do my practice with the big end of the calligraph. I'm going to write my name. Here we go. Again, I just want that pen feeling comfortable. Heavy down, light up. And I go right into my R. And then in the middle of the word, I like my S to be like that. All right. Not too bad. Could be a little better. And it will someday. I look forward to that. But yeah. All right, I'm going to back this out and put, oops, wrong way. Back this out and raise my camera up. There we go. So there is our week practice. I can't wait to see all yours. Hashtag practice with Tadazzle. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And if you haven't already, subscribe, please.